The New York Knickerbockers bounced back with a win in Minneapolis on Monday night and now are 10 games into the season with a record of 5 wins and 5 losses. Joining me to talk some Knicks hoops is the dean of Knicks Film School, my guy, Jonathan Macri. Jonathan, what's up, man?
What's going on, Dexter? Thanks for having me on. It's good to talk about a team that is not currently in crisis mode. A lot of some of the.
Look at that. We got some shots fired here. A little right before the Knicks play the other team in New York, the Nets. I see what you did there. I see what you did
I wasn't
there.
even trying to reference the Nets, but just, there's been a lot of consternation amongst some in the fan base. So coming off a Minnesota win, I'll take the easy
I
win.
see what you're doing with the rivalry matchup coming up. We'll get into that a little bit later, but Jonathan is here joining us to talk some Knicks hoops. Now, Jonathan, as I said, 10 games into the season. When you look at the games, what's happened, 5-5 record, as I said, what's your evaluation of the Knicks at this point?
I mean, they're perfectly average. There was some stats going around the internet today reflecting the fact that they've given up exactly as many points as they've scored. They're 16th in offense, 16th in defense. They're beating all of the teams with losing records, and they're losing to all the teams with winning records. That being said, I think there are, ways you could be average that are boring, and I think there are ways that you could be average that are interesting. And I think the way the Knicks have gone about their business, especially in the last few games, with some of the more interesting lineup combinations by Tom Thibodeau, makes them an interesting story, certainly moving forward.
Yeah, and we will see how interesting they are moving forward and hopefully exciting. Now, the last time you and I spoke, you had me on Knicks Film School podcast, and we chatted a bit about more playing time for young players like Obi Toppin and Cam Reddish. And the Obi and Cam hives, they've been vocal on social media. Tibbs has put Reddish in the starting lineup the past 2 games, and we've actually seen minutes where Julius Randle and Toppin are on the court together. So is diversity in the rotation for New York a good thing here?
I think it's a very good thing, and I think it's a good thing for a couple of reasons. For one, they're a more effective team when those 2 players play, and in the case of Obi Toppin, when he plays alongside Julius Randle. Cam Reddish has been a revelation on defense. He's always had the tools, but in Atlanta especially, he wasn't always able to put those together. He's putting them together now, and it's making a really big impact on New York's defense. As far as Obi, he has become one of the not only the best shooting big men in the league, but one of the most high volume as well. I looked it up before amongst players 6'9" or taller in the league. He's making the second most 3-pointers per 36 minutes, and he's hitting them at above a 40% clip. I think it could only help New York's offensive attack when he's on the floor, and he's been doing his job on defense as well.
Now, nothing is perfect, Jonathan, and one of the concerns that fans have right now with the team is their 3-point defense. Is this something you believe that this group can improve as they move forward in the regular season?
Well, they're going to have to, because this is the Thibodeau scheme. This has always been Thibodeau's scheme, which is that you make sure there are no easy looks at the rim. But in order to do that, you have to be, on your toes on the perimeter. And there's a lot of, help and recover. And there's a lot of making sure you are navigating screens properly. They haven't been doing that. And they've been a little, less clean than you would expect from a Tom Thibodeau coach team 10 games into the season. That said, like I spoke about before, Cam Reddish now in the starting lineup. I think he'll help. They still haven't had Quentin Grimes for, except for 1 game. He should help as well. So I expect it to get better. That being said, teams are taking the second highest 3-point field goal frequency against the Knicks out of any team in basketball. I think that number needs to go down a little bit for them to sustain their attack and hopefully eventually become a top 10 defense.
All right, we will see if they can improve that defense. Something tells me, Jonathan, you're excited about that Knicks-Nets matchup that'll be coming up later this week. That is Jonathan Macri, the dean of Knicks Film School. Jonathan, always good to talk Knicks hoops with you, man.
Pleasure is all mine. Thanks again for having me on, man.
Anytime.